Right, so E3 2016 is over. We've watched all the conferences, seen all the new announcements, put up with all the nonsense, and now it's time for a debrief. Lots of new games to discuss, plus a bunch we already knew something about. So let's get right into it. EA kicked us off with a relatively standard show, bookmarked with two pretty good titles. First up was Titanfall 2, showing off both multiplayer and a single player campaign for the first time. It's also on PS4 now as well. Happy Matt. We got to see a bit more from BioWare on Mass Effect Andromeda. Mostly sodding developer diaries though, which I'm guessing are a contractual obligation from EA in order to get funding from them or something. I mean, what other reason do we have to keep on doing them? Female lead character though, so that's pretty cool. There were sports. NFL and football to be precise. Jose Mourinho turned up at one point, as did some guy who's apparently Man United's new number 29. Unusual place to announce a new signing, but hey, who am I to judge? There were also esports. Yup. There were EA Originals, the company's attempt to do what everyone else was doing 5 years ago, and partnering with indie developers. Some Star Wars stuff we probably won't see for several years, and then Battlefield 1. And I mean, well, just look at it. There's a bloody Zeppelin exploding out of the sky. I mean, Christ, how much do I want to play this? Also, the sight of Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx looking like they want to fire their agents is pretty priceless. New Quake! Literally straight in with the return of the king of arena shooters. The guys behind Doom are bringing back their other old beloved franchise in partnership with Bethesda, and quite frankly I cannot bloody wait. In terms of my big call, I wasn't entirely wrong. Okay, there were no Elder Scrolls 6 sadly, but there was more talk on the competitor Hearthstone, Elder Scrolls Legends. Actually, we'll get back to card games in a bit. As well as announcing a stunning looking remaster of Skyrim for next gen. It's amazing just how much I want to play that game all over again. And some Elder Scrolls Online stuff, which is mostly memorable for the screaming lady in the audience. Lots of DLC chat. Fallout 4 and Shelter are getting updates. You can now build and manage your own vaults in Fallout 4, and take a trip outside to venture and scavenge in Fallout Shelter. So what we can conclude is the two games are turning into each other. There's also some Doom DLC as everyone expected. Incredibly, we also discovered that Prey 2 isn't dead after all. The really cool trailer for this game, just called Prey again for some reason, seems to have got everyone excited, including myself. Then there was Dishonored 2. New location, new character, new skills. It's gorgeous, it's fascinating, and it looks a hell of a lot of fun. Ah, Bethesda, you are just the bloody best. Pretty great showing by Microsoft this year, who seem to be getting better at it after the debacle of a few years ago.
Yeah, that was really great. That was amazing.
Lots of hardware announcements, including a slimmed down Xbox One, and what looks like the first 4K ready super powerful console in Project Scorpio. And for the first time, customized controllers! Yay! They announced a new cross-buy and crossplay feature between their console and Windows 10, which is a brilliant move on their part. We saw Gears of War 4 and Forza Horizon 3 offered up on this, as well as gameplay from both the games. Final Fantasy 15 turned up here oddly, considering it's mostly focused on Sony in the past. The boss fight they showed looks pretty fun though. The new game from the guys from Limbo is finally coming in the form of Inside. To be honest, I'd forgotten about it, but it was nice to be reminded. Also a game I'm super interested in, We Happy Few. I was right about CJ Projekt Red bringing a surprise though, although I wasn't expecting it to be here. So Gwent is now a standalone game, to add to Hearthstone's competition. Although actually I really loved Gwent in The Witcher 3, so I'm not complaining. There was also a new Tekken with this mental guy who just don't give a f***. Dead Rising 4, bringing the mental back to a series threatening brown reality. Recore, Scalebound, and Sea of Thieves, all of which look good, I guess? Then they finally delivered a nice little surprise in the form of a second State of Decay title. And I did warn you to expect Master Chief to show up, and duly he did, in the form of Halo Wars 2. Overall then, good job guys. The mammoth 3.5 hour PC gaming show didn't actually feature that many games despite its runtime. So I'm just going to smash through as quickly as I can what happened to save some time. Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War 3, Oxygen Not Included, Ark Survival Evolved, Vampire, Surge, Lawbreakers, complete with Cliffy B, Killing Floor 2, Mountain Blade 2, Hardware, VR, Dual Universe, Big Massive Balls, and the Lionel Richie VR experience. I may have made those last two up. Starting as they mean to go on, with what can only be described as a cross between children's TV special and a ketamine fever dream, Ubisoft obviously weren't opening with a Tom Clancy game. Nope, this was Just Dance 2017. Then we got the Tom Clancy game, in the form of Ghost Recon Wildlands. I gotta be honest, it just sort of looks like all the least interesting parts of GTA 5, Far Cry 3 and other Tom Clancy games, but hey, I've been proved wrong before. Then on popped Trey Parker and Matt Stone for their annual couch session to discuss the fractured butthole. Never gets old. One or two questionable gags aside, looks pretty fun. Then there's some DLC for The Division, the now customary VR games, some eagle flying thing with this kid who apparently owns Oculus, although to be honest I'm pretty sure he's on the checkouts of my local supermarket, so I'm not so sure. And a Star Trek thing with LeVar Burton. For Honor borrowed the voiceover lady from Dark Souls, and their entire CG department by the look of it, to show off their single player campaign. Looks pretty awesome actually. Plus the crazy guy who I'm almost certain plays bass in a Monomath was back, so it's win-win all round! We also got a sequel for Grow Home, inspiringly titled Grow Up, and another Mental's Trials mashup, this time linking up with the sleeper hit Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon for Trials of the Blood Dragon. What these guys in the bodysuits were doing though, I've got no idea. And because a literal black hole in space and time would open up if they didn't, Ubisoft gave coverage to the soon-to-be critically panned Assassin's Creed movie. The not-so-secret Watch Dogs 2 got a lengthy showing, seems to be taking itself a lot less seriously this time around as well, so thank God and see you later Aiden Pierce. And finally there was the mountain exploring, / racing, / challenge setting, / photo taking, / social co-op, / cup of tea with the in-laws, / brown paper packages tied up with string game. Steep. Steep. Sony maybe didn't live up to the incredible showing from last year, but they still had a few wonderful surprises up their sleeves. From the off, they brought along a sodding orchestra for the show, and very quickly introduced the new God of War game, with hipster Kratos, the obligatory innocent child character from every indie game you've played, and an all-new controllable camera! Actually, I joke, but this does look bloody great. The Last Guardian finally has a release date! You know, it's been so long coming that it actually feels weird even to say it. There was a trailer for something called Days Gone, which they actually ended the conference with. It's a zombie game set in the American countryside, which I honestly think has been done to absolute death and really has to stop, but that's just me. At least we got to see the sizable chunk of gameplay from Horizon Zero Dawn. This actually looks really fun and interesting, I think. David Cage is back with his usual brand of games that are basically terrible films, this time with Detroit Become Human. You know, actually, I'm sort of kind of into this. Then there was lots of VR talk, as you'd expect with their headset out later this year. There were some interesting games, but one major surprise. In a game that looks vaguely similar to PT, in fact this VR survival horror game is Resident Evil 7. Holy crap, no one saw that coming. Oh, and there was also a Final Fantasy VR game that looked like one of those terrible Steam Greenlight trailers that Jim Sterling tears apart. Call of Duty up next, although because it came directly after the VR trailers I thought it was another VR game. That's actually a compliment though, because this is the most different COD has looked in years. Tell you what, we may have a bunch of brilliant shooters out this year. We saw a new Spider-Man game is being made by Insomniac. I hope it's good. We haven't had a good Spider-Man game since Spider-Man 2 in 2004, so it feels long overdue. Oh, and Crash Bandicoot's back. Sort of. The first few are being remastered, and he's going into Skylanders. Bets are on for a new game being announced at E3 2017 though. And then Sony do what they always do, and pull the proverbial ace from their sleeves. Enter one Mr. Hideo Kojima, to debut the world-exclusive first trailer of his new game, Naked Norman Reedus Simulator, otherwise known as Death Stranding. So I may have said that Nintendo were only going to talk about the new Zelda game in their show, but I, like so many others, were deceived by the fact that that's basically what Nintendo told us. For the first hour, they showed off Pokemon Sun and Moon, which was, you know, Pokemon, but some more. When they finally got round to showing Zelda, I have to say I was pretty impressed. It's a beautiful world with a seemingly deep and complex set of game mechanics in terms of combat, movement, and all new crafting and survival mechanics for the series. Okay, we all know it's been done countless times before, but because it's Nintendo, enough people were pandered to them to make everyone forget that fact. So, yeah, all new stuff, guys! Woo! And that's everything. Another great year for the conference, and things are looking very bright for the future. Thanks for watching the show and continuing to support the channel. In fact, why not tell all your friends about it, and share the love with the gaming community. And don't forget to hit the like button so the YouTube overlords won't steal all my things. Next week, we're going to do something a little bit more stupid, because all this E3 stuff has sort of worn me out. Plus, who doesn't like anything a little bit stupid, eh? In fact, let's find out. I'll see you next time.